Hey, hey, it's me, SB. I'm so glad that you are back, and guess what we're making today? We're making some twisted headbands on the Sentro 48. So yeah, let's get started. I'm so glad that you are back, and yep, we are back with the Sentro 48, and I am so excited that I found out how to make these twisted headbands, as you can see here. I don't know, they are deceptively simple. I mean, I guess I should say it another way, that they look more complicated than what they are. I'm gonna tell you real quick the items that you're gonna need to make this. This yarn here is actually a sport weight or a lightweight yarn, and here it is. I bought this from hobby.com, and I do believe it's the I Heart Mega yarn. If I remember to, I will place it in the description box below, or I will, put it up here somewhere. But yeah, this is like a lightweight yarn, light worsted weight, sport weight, whatever. But you can use worsted weight yarn to make this pattern. It's going to come out the same, it's just going to be thicker. Make sure that you have a center pull ball of yarn. So another thing that you're going to need is some waste yarn, because we're going to put this at the beginning and the end of our work. Simple enough. So we're just going to go ahead and cast on, and make sure that you reset your counter. And we're just going to go around and cast on our yarn in the usual fashion. So yeah, this is so easy. It works up so fast. I'm going to try to time myself to let you know how fast it actually gets worked up. I want to say it will take me about 15 minutes to do the entire thing. And so yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and pop it into the middle tensioner. And then we're just going to go around and do maybe 10 rounds. I actually prefer to do 10 because I just feel more comfortable. I feel like it's not going to fall off or anything. But you definitely do the amount that you feel comfortable with. Make sure that you're using a waste yarn that works really well in the machine, because you don't want to be having to struggle just with the waste yarn. So yeah, I'm just going to go through, I'm going to do 10 rounds. I think will be good. I figure you can have, you can't have too many of these at all. I mean, everybody could use these in a bunch of different colors. Alright, here's my 10th round complete. Boop. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this. And now pop that inside. And now we're going to grab the yarn that we're going to be using to make our little twisted headband. And since this is a lighter weight yarn, what I like to do is I like to go to that very first one right here, the smallest one, and use that one just to give it a little bit more tension. And now we're going to continue on, and we're going to do 75 rounds. Don't forget to reset your counter. I always do. And this is going to be the first round of our twisted headband. So I'm going to work to 75. Like I said, it ranges from 75 to 90 rounds depending on the yarn. Like I said, it's always dependent on the yarn that you're using. So yeah, you're really not going to know until you actually make it. These are super stretchy, so just remember that even though it does look small, it's going to stretch out. And also when you wash it, you add laundry softener, it's going to make the yarn relax even more. So you just don't want to be like, oh, that's going to be way too small, I better just make it bigger. And then when you go to wash it, guess what happens? It stretches out and it's too big. I mean, you can always go back and fix it-ish, but you might have a little bit of trouble. So yeah, I'm just going to continue on to 75 rounds. Oh, real quick, I always forget to mention this, but you are going to need a crochet hook. Either the crochet hook that came with your machine or one that you have handy. That's really the only way that we're going to be able to close up each end. Alright, so once you get all 75 done, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut our main yarn. And just so you know, it only took me 6 minutes to complete this part of the project. So yeah, it probably will take you about 15-20 minutes-ish, just depending, you know, just depending on a lot of different factors. So let's go ahead and add our waste yarn, and let's do 10 rounds once again, so that way, you know, we have a good amount. And I just dropped my yarn. Oh my gosh, like, it's so quick, especially whenever you have the yarn that works so beautifully in the Sentro. I mean, everything just knits up so fast. I'm so glad that I found out that Big Twist yarn works really well. So far, all the colors that I've tried in Big Twist work, and I haven't found one that doesn't work. Let me know in the comments down below if you know of another yarn brand that works, that actually works, you know. Because I know Red Heart Super Saver, some of the colors don't work, so I don't consider that, but yeah. Okay, one more round. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and cut this. And I always save my waste yarn because you can always use it later. Okay, so now all we're going to do is we're going to pop this off of the machine, and that just means, you know, going around with no yarn through the yarn guide or anything, and it'll just come right off. Yay! Oh, so easy. Okay, so I'm going to set my machine aside because we are done with it. Alright, so this is what you should have so far. And yeah, it looks fat, but once you, like, you know, give it a stretch, get all those, that's how long it is. Look at that. Pretty cool. Alright, so now we're going to go to our ends. And I recently was watching a video of another lady. She was making a sweater with this knitting machine, and I thought, oh my god, that is freaking amazing. Like, I could not believe it. Okay, so this is the way that she showed how to do this, because I found whenever I do this method, I almost always mess it up, and it's like wonky. So get a stitch marker, and we are just going to locate our stitches here. And yeah, so she said that this is actually your last stitch that you knit, and this one over here on this side, the one that's going around, this one right here is your first stitch, right? Make sure. Yeah. So you're going to have your first and your last stitch marked. And we should have 48. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at this one here. We're going to count 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. So we're going to take our crochet hook, just make sure it is a good size that you can work with. Just don't get too big, you know, and don't go too small. So that was our 24th. So in our 25th, we're going to put our crochet hook, and we are going to loop that 24th stitch and pull through. So once again, since we went up, we're going to go down, loop the bottom one, pull through, go up, loop it, pull through, and this is going to be the repeat pattern all the way to the end, and this is going to make a nice beautiful closure that is nice and flat. And you know what? You know why it works? I was thinking about this, and the reason why it works is because this is actually all part of this tail here, and you know, it's just utilizing that. It's pretty cool, pretty intuitive actually. I was like, whoever thought of this? Amazing. They are amazing for knowing how to do this. I never would have thought of doing this, to tell you the truth. Let's hope I did it right. So yeah, I'm gonna say that this is probably a 30-minute project, because you do have to, you know, stop and do this, and sometimes these stitches will not cooperate. Oh, see? I cannot hook it. It cannot be hooked. There we go. Yeah. So I hope everybody had a great Christmas holiday, or, you know, whatever holiday you like to spend during the winter months. Yeah, we had pretty good Christmas, you know. It was okay. Had some things happen before Christmas that were not okay, but it is life, you know, life. Life happens. I hope everybody had a great, great Christmas. Okay, so here we go. Actually, yeah, that's right. Okay, hold on. Let's take this one, because we're going back down. Pop this off. Put that in there. And then that is our last one. Hopefully I did it right. I always do it wrong. Yeah, it looks like I may have done it wrong. Let's see if I can get that tight, because this is supposed to tighten it up. I may have done it wrong. Well, either way, it's gonna stay. If you would have done it right, that little loop right there would have gotten tighter and locked everything in place, but you know, sometimes we make mistakes. But make sure that you grab every single stitch. You can kind of tell if you stretch it, you'll kind of be able to see that these little bumpies on your waist yarn looks a little bit different, but I don't see anything. Everything looks put together. So since this was the first waist yarn that we put on our machine, it's going to be a little difficult to take off, but I'm going to show you a little trick to get this waist yarn off a lot quicker. So we're going to find our tail to our waist yarn, which is right here, and I'm just going to pop this out just so you can see. And then on this side, now we can see it a lot better. You're going to have a loop going around, and we're just going to tug on that one until you start seeing these stitches right here start to get tighter. And you just keep tugging it. You see how they're getting tighter? And it'll start pulling all of this all the way around. And what I like to do is I like to put my thumb right here and just kind of hold it and keep pulling the same side of your tail. And then once it gets tight over here, I just hold it and keep tugging, and you'll see all this start coming through. There we go, you see that? And boom! We got it off in like, what, half a minute? Amazing. Okay, let's make sure we got everything. So just to be on the safe side, what I'm going to do on this side is I'm going to loop this through and do an extra loop just to lock that in place. And there we go. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So let's get these out of there. Now this one you can actually see where that last stitch is and that first one. So this one's actually going through here, right here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my stitch markers again. And we're going to mark that one because that one's coming out. And where'd my other stitch marker go? Done disappeared. What? Did y'all see where my stitch marker went? Well, I have to grab another one. Alright, so this one right here will be our last one. So once again, I am going to count 24. So I may have done it wrong. Just get that all situated. 2, 23, 24. Alright, there's 24 right there. So we're going to go into the 25th. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I did it right. And we go up, pull through, down, pull through, up, pull through, down. And we're just going to repeat the process once again. Hopefully this time I will grab the right loop. Even if I have to readjust, I will. I mean, there's always workarounds. And yeah. So I'll meet you back when I finish that up. Okay, so once again, I don't know if I'm starting on the wrong one initially. I probably am, but yeah. But this should be the one that has like the loop like that. You see your tail. So that should be your last one. And it should pull through and you should be able to go through that and it'll just lock it in place. So yeah, I kind of adjusted it a little bit when I noticed that it was kind of messing up a little bit. But that's okay. I mean, it's going to work. Nobody's going to see this. You're going to be the only one that knows. Now on this side, since it was our last, rounds that we did, we can just very easily just pull our, our yarn through and unravel it, or we can do it the exact same way as the beginning, the way I showed you at the beginning. And we just have to find where our waist yarn starts and pull that out like that. Find the other end. So here's where our tail's coming through, and this is technically the first stitch, or the last stitch rather. And we're gonna locate the one that starts tugging all of the stitches, and I'm gonna give that a nice tug. Now just be careful when you're doing this method, because sometimes you have some yarn that does not like this method, and it'll just like all come apart and it'll break the yarn. It does put a lot of pressure on the yarn, so just keep that in mind. And there we go. And now whenever I'm done with my project, I'll just go back through and unravel all of these and put them into little balls and save them for my next project. And there we go. Alright, so now we are done with our crochet hook. We can put that aside. And I should have mentioned it at the beginning, but you are going to need, you know, a long enough tail to do the ends. Mine are actually long enough for what I need them to do. So yeah, whichever end you are going to be working with, you want it to be on the outside. So you'll see what I'm talking about. So we're going to fold this in half, just like this. And then we're going to look at it and it creates like a C. But since I want this to be on the bottom, I'm actually going to fold it the other way. So that way I have my tail at the bottom. And now with the other side is also folded in half like that into a little C. We're going to put one side inside the other, just like that. Make sure we get those tails out. Wrap it around, and now we have like this zigzag thing going on. So we got the C and a C, and they're kind of like hugging each other. And now we're going to sew all this together. All 4 layers are going to get sewn together. So take the end, your tapestry needle, and real easy. It's basically just going to be, you know, in and out type stitch. And you don't have to go through every single one because, yeah, it's not necessary. But you do want to make sure you go through every single layer, just like that. Pull it through. I like to give it a little tug. Every single layer. Go around. I like to give it a little bit of a tug. And you're just going to keep doing that, weaving in and out all the way to the end. Now when I get close to the end right here, I tend to kind of, you know, work my fabric around a little bit just so I can catch that end. And then I usually just go through these layers right here just to really, I don't know, finish it off so that way you can't see that later. And give it a little tug. And then we're just going to loop it around one more time. And I like to just anchor my yarn in place by going through the loop and giving it a little tightening there. There we go. Alright, and now we're all done, so we're going to hide our ends. So really easy. What I like to do is I like to just go in between my layers here. I know it's kind of like the lazy way of doing it, right? Making sure that you're going in between the layers. There we go. And that way you can't really see that anyways. Cut that. And now it's hidden on the inside. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Alternatively, you could just like wrap it around your seam here and, you know, be done with it. This one's actually on the inside, so I'm going to go inside and just weave it through. There we go. And now cut it. And the magic is about to happen. Are you excited? The magic is about to happen. So right now it looks kind of crazy, like it looks like nothing, but when you put it right side out, oh my gosh, it just like, you're like, what? How does that even happen? Okay, could take a little fiddling with it, but I like to stick my fingers in here and give it a stretch. And there it is. Oh my god. I so cannot get over this. Like, every time I do it, I just cannot get over it. It just looks so amazing. And the more you wear it, the more prominent this little twist or bow is gonna look. But yeah, that is super duper easy, and I cannot believe that I had not discovered it, I mean, like a couple weeks ago. And I wanted to share it with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It is so easy. Like I said, you could probably get this project done in 15 to 25 minutes. I mean, it really depends on a lot of factors. But yeah, I'm going to say it'll probably take you about 20 minutes to complete it from start to finish. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more. And yeah, I'll see you later. Happy crafting. Bye.